Dr. Gross? Dr. Gross, in the wake of the Fisher report, where do we stand and where do we go from here?
Well, I have a committee of 4 people working very hard on the analysis of the report so that we know specifically what it would require in the way of action in the school system and our capabilities for moving ahead on it. I think that in a very few days I'd like to be able to give the Board of Education a good reading on what it would mean if they decide to adopt this report or a major part of it or any portion of it, how fast we can move ahead, how well it would solve our integration problems, how well it would enhance our efforts toward quality instruction.
What was the reaction of your meeting with civil rights leaders?
I think this is one of the best meetings we've had. The reaction essentially was non-committal because I don't think any of them had actually read the report fully. A few of them had, I guess, but some of them hadn't. They had had a good idea of what was in it from the press reports, but they were withholding judgment to a degree, and they also said, and very rightly, that it was, in a sense, our move next. It's up to the staff of the schools and the Board of Education to decide what we're going to do about it, and they'd rather react to our reaction rather than to the report itself. I think it's perfectly fair.
So you said that your meeting today with the civil rights groups was one of the best you've had. What made it so good?
It was good because we were talking about problems. They were not making demands. I don't think the word busing was even used. We were talking about good racial balance. We were talking about good instructional programs and about this specific report, what it meant. And I think that this is why I would characterize it as a constructive meeting.
Would you expect the Board of Education to react quickly, or do you think they'll have to make a lot more studies and more reports?
I think that the Board of Education wants to react quickly and will be able to react quickly. Certainly we're bending every effort to prepare for them our reaction, our analysis to this report. We certainly don't intend to take very many days, and we don't intend to make another report about a report. What we want to do is to say to the board in unequivocal fashion, in our minds, it makes sense that we do this, this, and this. And we think this is how the school system ought to move. And then I hope that they, in their turn, will be able to satisfy themselves quickly that this is a proper course of action and move ahead. I think that one thing we do need at the present time is some positive headway on the whole series of problems having to do with integration.
You have characterized the meeting as one of the best yet. Would you extend it so far as to say that the meeting has lessened in any way the threat of future school boycotts?
I don't have any reading on that. We weren't talking about that sort of thing. The boycotts, the demonstration, are ways of people's expressing themselves or forms of exerting pressure. This wasn't a pressure meeting. This was a meeting thinking about and talking about matters of substance.
The Fisher report was not critical of pairings, but critical of what pairings could accomplish. How do you feel about pairings today?
Well, I feel about pairings about the way I did before. Some of them are quite good, some of them are not so good. And you're perfectly right. The report by this committee, headed by Dr. Fisher, did not recommend either for or against pairings. They left this matter open and therefore blessed them by inference. And there is no essential conflict between the two.
What concrete results do you foresee as a result of this report?
Well, I think this is the matter which is presently under scrutiny. We are trying to decide exactly what the concrete results will be. and it would be a little premature for me to attempt to say now what the answer might be.
Sir, the general climate, the general feeling between the civil rights groups and the board and yourself has been rather tense of late months. Do you find them today improved, relaxed?
I certainly think that we were relaxed today. We're well acquainted, and I think I would say yes, that the atmosphere has improved a great deal.
But the parents and taxpayers are already on record as opposing the